participating here in person and virtually within Nigeria and other parts of the world. I am immensely happy on this occasion of the public presentation of Nigerians' views on national turmoil, a situational quadruple nexus analysis. Between August 2020 and March 2021, I joined 3 other consultants, including Professor Cummins, on an assignment for the UN Economic Commission for Africa. I had the opportunity of building on the idea of a situational quadruple nexus approach that I had first used at a presentation under the auspices of UNESCO. The book has benefited from these experiences as well as constant brainstorming with family and friends. Once again, I thank everyone, especially the Dean of the College of Arts, Management and Social Sciences, Professor Temidayo Akinbobola, and Dr. Solomon Okunade, who contributed in one way or the other to the success of this event. I hereby present this book for the enrichment of knowledge, hoping it contributes to the search for solutions and answers to the problems facing our dear country. I thank you all for your time. May Nigeria survive in the medium to long term. Babafemi Badejo Aremu, Ọmọ Iyeshina Onírẹsì, Ọkọ Jùmọ̀kẹ́.
Thank you very much on eradicating poverty. Without asking a hard question about inequality. It is the inadequate view of poverty, of governance, and human rights, which means that over the last 20 years, globally and certainly in Nigeria, the challenge is not just poverty. The challenge is also inequality, linked to violations of human rights, the lack of peace and security, unmet humanitarian crises, and profoundly failures in development. You can see this in how the liquid indexing moves us into areas of thinking which are often missing. Development and peace have too often been separated as different problems, and yet they come together. There is no development without peace and security. Similarly, what Professor Babafemi has done is highlight that humanitarianism by itself cannot and will never meet the needs of people affected by conflict, climate change, and disaster without a recognition of human rights. So it's development failure that lead to food insecurity. It's the failure of peace and security that leads to violent conflict. It's the failure to respect human rights that lead to displacement. But to address the recurrent humanitarian crises, it must combine these with an understanding of what it means to deal from the other 3 pillars: human rights, peace, security, and development. Certainly, we find in this book and in the critiques that come out of it how governance failure create trouble, state-society relations, mistrust of government promises, and thus human rights, governance, and conflict are inextricably linked. And so understanding the relationship between the 3, such as are brought out very powerfully in the interviews that he reports on, means that without a broad and inclusive understanding of rights and a way to address these rights, the core problems in Nigeria or any society, certainly we see this powerfully in the failures in the United States today, cannot meet the basic goals of Agenda 2063 or the 2030 Agenda. Similarly,
the chair of this meeting, Your Excellency, the Vice Chancellor of our great university, Professor Peace Babalola, FAS, the honoree of today, because you are the person we are honoring, everybody on the high table, ladies and gentlemen. Everything that I'm going to say would be an addendum to what my Vice Chancellor said, and to what the chairman of today's occasion said. And the author of the book has actually done the review. So what I'll simply be doing is just to call attention to the significance of this publication and the significance of this occasion. And I think the Vice Chancellor started it by saying this is the first. And I agree absolutely with you, man, that this is the first. So congratulations to your university. Congratulations in the sense that we are having a book presentation of this nature. An occasion that is chaired by a former head of state and that is chaired by a Nobel laureate in peace. Once again, I have to congratulate the university. Now, what he has done is to analyze the data afresh, and he has presented the ideas to us now, and I congratulate those of you who are students who would actually be benefiting from his wealth of knowledge. I'd like to recommend, sir, and to you and the Vice Chancellor, the second edition of this book, I think should be published by your Department of Political Science, if the university is not having a press already. Because this is a publication that will go around the world. And we're saying it will go around the world because when we are discussing the crisis in Nigeria, it is usually a beer parlor affair. If it is not a beer parlor affair, it is a PDP's APC affair. What this book is saying is that Nigeria is sinking. And he has presented to us a scientific understanding of the problem. And as we are approaching the year 2023, I expect every politician to read this book before promising us we'll give you water, we'll give you electricity. The problems of Nigeria is not water, it's not electricity. What this publication is saying is that the country itself is sinking. And let us start by saving the country. This is what Professor Badejo has presented to us. Now, at my own small level, I have actually been trying to study the problems of the country. So far, apart from the journals, the chapters and books that I've written, I've published 35 of these, trying to call attention to the problems of Nigeria. Before us, NSAS, we published this, and we told Nigeria that NSAS is coming. We went around Nigeria, we discovered that all our young boys and girls, they are into yahoo, no job, nothing. They are so discouraged, many of them are running away from Nigeria, even across the desert. And we predicted that Nigeria is in trouble. Now the trouble came. But since NSAS, the problems are really mounting, but nobody is doing anything. Now, we also discovered that we have urban crises all over the place. Our cities are no longer safe. We did 2 editions of this, one on Nigeria, one on Africa, and then this is the latest. This one is here to be presented to the public. It is on Agenda 2030 that His Excellency mentioned, the so-called SDGs. So I'm presenting this book to the Vice Chancellor of our great university. Mark, for bringing us to this occasion, we give this to you. Prof, we congratulate you.
So we're delighted to have this. And this is the first time the university is also having a book presentation. Again, this is the first time they're having a book presentation and we're not raising funds. We just want to, the writer and the university want to share knowledge. So the university is also appreciative of Professor Badejo for the opportunity to showcase his book, showcase the university. I think leadership is really influence, being a change agent. So the solution is that everyone should be a leader. Because everyone is a leader, no matter the level. You don't have to be a president to be a leader. In your home, in your community, in your office, be a true leader. Be a transformational leader. Lead in a way that brings positive change to your environment. Little drops make an ocean. So leadership should start from the bottom to the top, from the top to the bottom. Okay, and those that are vying to be leaders should know that they're going there to bring positive change. If you know you don't have that capacity, then you don't go there. You know, so to me, the solution is everyone taking responsibility and not blaming A, B, or C. I think this has started, this has gingered us, and staff and students were there. So I think everyone can go back and think, can I write a book? If I want to write a book, what should I write on, at least? Prof is also very experienced. People can also consult him if they have similar ideas. He's written many books. So this is not the first book. So people can consult him and he can mentor them. I think what people may need encouragement and mentorship. And I would tell him to try and mentor younger colleagues into book writing.
Well, the problem of leadership is the main problem that the country has faced. But I should also hasten to tell you that leadership is a problem that humanity has been grappling with from the time of immemorial. Plato, in his book The Republic, which is several BCs ago, was actually dealing with the question you have asked: how do we get leaders? And he was talking about how do we build philosopher kings, and he spoke about what is always essential: training. That we take the kids when they are still very young and we isolate them and give them the necessary training to be totally centered towards improving the republic, not just focusing on particular interests. That problem has continued and it will still be there. Perhaps we could look at the possibilities of ensuring that people are trained, socialized differently from the way that socialization today is towards a selfish orientation without focus on the goods of society overall. I don't agree with those who say, oh, the problem is the people. No, if people are stepping forward to be leaders, they cannot then pop out again and say it is the followership. No, we cannot continue on that chicken and egg. If somebody steps forward and can lead, then the extent to which such a person puts interests overall beyond the personal interest. Everybody must have their own personal interests, but going beyond that is what it takes to be a good leader.
Well, the book being presented today, I think it's a major contribution to knowledge in terms of addressing issues that that helps, issues that help us to have a better understanding of where Nigeria is. The book focuses on 4 problems: lack of development in Nigeria, problem of peace and security, problem of human rights abuses, and then problem of humanitarianism in Nigeria. Now, these are core problems that the country has been dealing with for a very long time. But the question is, why have we not been able to surmount all those problems? It is because we don't have the right kind of leadership. And the point being made by this presentation is that we need to engineer more constructive, more responsible leadership that will remove the problem so that Nigeria also could be listed among the countries of the world that are pursuing sustainable development. Well, the leadership question has to do with refusal of Nigerians to promote altruistic leadership, to do what is right, whether in the eyes of the law or in the eyes of the people. Those who are leading us live in their own world that is totally different from the kind of world that will deliver development. So what we need is a change of attitude, by these leaders to begin to do things that will promote development in the country. But for now, our leaders are not ready. But we have the opportunity of 2023 election, which could be used by Nigerians to challenge our leaders for higher levels of accountability. Probably, it's just a matter of prayers that will get out of the problem.
I think I thank God for that because we really put a lot of energy into it. Most often, it was always sleepless nights. Everything has to do with it. For it to come out on time and for the presentation, because part of it will be personal, for it to be very well. But I really thank God that everything was in Nigeria. Well, anyway, what I have to say is that there is a lot that needs to be done concerning the way our leaders are governing the country. The youth, the economy, education, and everything has to be put into place. Because apart from that, we shouldn't be serving our own pockets. Most of the time, we're always talking about corruption. I think it's high time that people should put aside their self-interest and look at the interest of the country. How are we going to move this country forward? How is there going to be lots of development so that we can leap to meet the developed nations? Nigeria is not a country that should be where we are right now. We should be flying. We should be standing shoulder to shoulder with the United States of America, even if we are not near where they are. The disparity, the distance it's not something that is acceptable to most Nigerians. We really need to put into place all the structures and pillars that are necessary for us to develop and make our economy stand in comparison to what obtains in developed nations. I think we should look before we live. I think we should search our souls and put into position of authority those that are ready to love this nation and move this nation forward, rather than those that are not clear of themselves and their pockets and don't have solutions to whatever problems that we are facing in Nigeria. Thank you very much.